Welcome, the Chuck Wagon Gang.
Good evening. We are glad to be here tonight. Glad to see this good crowd here. How many are seeing the Chuck Wagon Gang live for the first time? Hands all over the place. All right. Well, we do it pretty much like Shay's grandparents did. One guitar and 4 voices. That's pretty much how we like to do it today. Traditional Southern gospel music, songs like this right here. I'm in the way, the bright and shining way. I'm in the glory land, way. Telling the world that Jesus saves today. Yes, I'm in the glory land, way. I'm in the glory land, way. I'm in the glory land, way. Heaven is near and the way groweth clearer, for I'm in the glory land, way. Onward I go, rejoicing in His love. I'm in the glory land, way. Soon I shall see Him in that home above. Oh, I'm in the glory land, way. I'm in the glory land, way. I'm in the glory land, way. Heaven is near and the way groweth clearer, for I'm in the glory land, way. I'm in the glory land, way. I'm in the glory land, way. Heaven is near and the way groweth clearer, for I'm in the glory land, way. I don't know exactly how sweet heaven will be. I don't know what beauty or what glory I'll see. I don't know what I'll behold that morning divine. Know for sure that heaven's really gonna shine. It's gonna shine. It's gonna shine. Yes, I know. It's gonna shine, shine, shine. It's glorious, so mine. Know for sure that heaven's really gonna shine. I don't know how I will be that city so fair. I don't even know how many saints will be there. I don't know how high will be that mansion of mine. Know for sure that heaven's really gonna shine. It's gonna shine. It's gonna shine. Yes, I know. Surely know it's gonna shine. Shine, shine. It's glorious, so mine. Know for sure that heaven's really gonna shine. It's gonna shine. It's gonna shine. Yes, I know. Surely know it's gonna shine. Shine, shine. It's glorious, so mine. Know for sure that heaven's really gonna shine. Thank you so much. I'm going to take just a moment to introduce who's playing and singing for you up here this evening. I'll start with our orchestra. There he is. Playing the guitar and singing the bass, doing a great job of that. He's been with us about 3 years. Originally from Elkins, West Virginia, he now makes his home in Nashville, Tennessee. Mr. Carl Smokula. This lady standing next to him will be singing that high soprano, just like Sister Rose did for so many years with the gang. I know you'll enjoy her singing tonight from Groveton, Texas, Miss Melissa Kemper.
And speaking of the original gang, how about Miss Anna? Do y'all remember Miss Anna, the original alto, who stepped out and sang those wonderful alto leads for so many years? For you that don't know, this is her granddaughter standing next to me. She's the family connection, also singing the alto and managing the group from Hertford, North Carolina, Miss Shay Smith.
Thank you. Singing tenor this evening, a fellow that's been with the gang for a little over 13 years now. He's born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is our home base. And I know you'll enjoy his tenor tonight, Mr. Stan Hill. We're going to sing a few songs off of a new recording we finished up a couple of months ago. And back in the 30s when the Chuck Wagon Gang got started, we were a Carter family. There was another Carter family. And if you're familiar with Mother Maybelle and Sarah and AP, y'all know who I'm talking about? All right. So they were kind of the first family of country music, and the Chuck Wagon Gang in its 80 plus years had never really recorded any of their songs. And so we thought, we're going to do a tribute record to some of their gospel music. And we chose 12 songs and put our Chuck Wagon Gang arrangement to them, and this new record is a tribute to some of their gospel songs. I want to sing a few of those for you right now. This first one, I bet you'll remember, it goes back to 1929. It's called The Meeting in the Air.
You have heard of little Moses in the bulrush. You have heard of fearless David and his sling. You have heard the story told of grieving Joseph. There are many, many others through the Bible. I should like to meet them all and to declare. By and by the Lord will surely let us meet them. rejoicing, bring rejoicing? Or will it bring tears and pain, bring tears and pain? Are you ready to receive Him, to receive Him? When our Lord shall come again, shall come again. They'll be singing, they'll be singing, they'll be shouting, shouting, shouting. There'll be sorrow, there'll be pain, or there'll be pain. There'll be weeping, there'll be praying, there'll be praying. When our Lord shall come again, shall come again. Work and pray till Jesus calls you, Jesus calls you. Come together in the great and golden rain. Till with joy you'll meet the Savior, meet the Savior. When our Lord shall come again, shall come again. They'll be singing, they'll be shouting, shouting, shouting. There'll be sorrow, there'll be pain, or burning pain. They'll be weeping, they'll be praying, they'll be praying. When our Lord shall come again, shall come again. They'll be singing, they'll be shouting, shouting, shouting. There'll be sorrow, there'll be pain, or burning pain. They'll be weeping, they'll be praying, they'll be praying. When our Lord shall come again, shall come again. When our Lord shall come again, shall come again.
Thank you so much. We're going to slow the tempo down a little bit and sing the title track for you of that new record. It's written by James D. Vaughn, and Mr. Vaughn wrote this song in the midst of the Great Depression back in the 30s as he was witnessing all the many terrible things that were going on in the midst of the Great Depression. And you'll hear in the first couple of verses, he describes those things he's seeing. And then he goes on and compares the Great Depression to the Great Tribulation that surely is coming. And he likens it unto a storm that's going to sweep millions away who are caught without Christ during that terrible time. So it's a very somber song, but if you wait till the last verse, he gets there and he gives us that word of encouragement that the believer, the church, the bride, the Lord's going to come and take us out of here before that terrible time comes. And He's going to take us to a place, as the title says, where there is no more depression.
For fear the hearts of men are failing, these are the latter days we know. For dread depression now is spreading. God's word declares it would be so. In that good land there is
you so much. We'll do one more of these old Carter family songs. This next song, I also feel pretty confident you're going to remember, have heard it, and give Carl a chance to do a little picking. And when you got a good guitar player, you got to put him to work. So see if you remember this one called The Old Gospel Ship.
Ship, I'm going far beyond the skies. Oh, I'm gonna shout and sing until the heavens ring, while I'm bidding this world goodbye. I have good news to bring, and that is why I sing. All my joys with you I'll share. I plan to take a trip in the good gospel ship and go sailing through the air. Oh, I'm gonna take a trip in a good old gospel ship. I'm going far beyond the skies. Oh, I'm gonna shout and sing until the heavens ring, while I'm bidding this world goodbye. If you're ashamed of me, you have no cause to be, for with Christ I am an heir. If too much fault you find, you will surely left behind, while I go sailing through the air. Oh, I'm gonna take a trip in a good old gospel ship. I'm going far beyond the skies. Oh, I'm gonna shout and sing until the heavens ring, while I'm bidding this world goodbye. While I'm bidding this world goodbye.
All right, thank you, Dan. Carl? Well, several of you raised your hands as remembering the original gang. Did any of you ever listen to the Chuck Wagon Gang on an old battery-powered radio? All right, well, that's the way they got. Did you, Ray Dean? Oh yeah. All right. I didn't know you were that old. I didn't think they had battery-powered radios that long ago. When the gang started in the 30s, also in the Depression, they were singing at a radio station in Fort Worth. They had been itinerant cotton field hands, and then the Lord blessed them, and they found themselves in this radio station in Fort Worth, WBAP Radio. And they had a local flour company that was their sponsor called Bewley Mills Flour. And so many of the songs that folks remember the gang singing, they did on the radio during those years in the 30s and 40s. So we're going to have a little bit of fun here. We're going to recreate an old radio show from the 40s. And the songs that they would have been singing, we're going to do some of those for you.
You're listening to WBAP, Fort Worth, Texas. And now, Bewley Mills Chuck Wagon Gang.
Bewley Mills is here again, sing the songs of growing men, full of members we command. That's the reason that you sing, we eat the bread, the blood, the legs, takes the special prize against this old world that makes a best of east to the west. It's heaven the rest, is any test, it's Bewley's best, and anchor feed.
On the Jericho
sunrise, how happy we'll be. After the sunrise, happy we'll be.
After the sunrise,
Jesus will see in heaven, oh, will be glory, singing the story. After the sunrise, how happy we'll be. After the sunrise, happy we'll be.
after the sunrise,
Jesus will see in heaven, oh, will be glory, singing the story. After the sunrise, how happy we'll be.
and now a word from our sponsor.
Thank you, Jim. Since 1882, the good folks at Bewley Mills have been serving Southwest housewives with premium flour. This means better pies, cakes, and biscuits for your family. And now Bewley's Best is Vitamized with vitamins B1 and nicotinic acid, among other healthy ingredients. Ladies, you owe it to your family to provide the most nutritious meals possible. So run, don't walk, down to your neighborhood grocery store and ask for it by name. Bewley's Best. Remember, ladies, Bewley's Best bakes better. Now I'm going to ask the gang to gather around once more and sing a great song, getting ready to leave this world.
Laying up my treasures in that home above, trusting in the Savior's love, doing what I can for heaven's holy dove. I'm getting ready to leave this world, getting ready to leave this world of sorrow, getting ready for the gates of pearl, keeping my record right, watching both things ahead. I'm getting ready to leave this world, to prepare a mansion. Jesus said I will. If it were not true, I would have told you so. Just a little while to linger here below. I'm getting ready to leave this world, getting ready to leave this world of sorrow, getting ready for the gates of pearl, keeping my record bright, watching both things ahead. I'm getting ready to leave this sinful world, getting ready to leave this world of sorrow, getting ready for the gates of pearl, keeping my record bright, watching both things ahead. I'm getting ready to leave this sinful world. There's a church in the valley by the wildwood, oh, lovelier place in the dale. No star is so dear to my childhood as the little brown church in the vale. Oh, come, 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 come to the church by the wildwood. Come to the church, come, 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 come. No star is so dear to my childhood as the little brown church in the vale. How
Wagon Gang debuted a brand new song right here around this microphone. Ever since then, we've been getting floods of cards and letters, folks wanting to hear that song again. It comes from a young man that lives over in the Ozark Mountains by the name of Albert Brumley. And well, you never know how these things turn out, but we have a real good feeling about this song. It's entitled, I'll Fly Away.
Some bright morning when this life is over, I fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away, just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away.
And now, Dad Carter's thought for the day.
A recent study shows that ladies who carry a few extra pounds around with them tend to live longer than the men who mention it.
It's here again, singing songs of gold and full of peppers, swing again. This is the reason it's singing in the bread and all the bakes, kisses, fish, pies, and cakes. This is love that makes it best from the east to the west. It's having the rest of the sanity test. It's feelings best and anger freed.
Good evening. I'm not up here to take an offering. Yet. Did you enjoy the Chuck Wagon Gang? I sat there listening to a lot of the songs that I grew up with, and probably most of the rest of you were thinking the same thing. That these are the songs we grew up with. And that's a wonderful thing, and brought back a memory when they mentioned James D. Vaughan. My grandfather worked for the James D. Vaughan Publishing Company way back when, and so that just made it a little more wonderful to me. But I'm up here to introduce another group. This group, the first time I ever knew anything about them was at the 1963 National Quartet Convention. Hovey Lister introduced them as the group from over the mountain. And as time went on, they became more and more popular and touring the country. And they became known as the Ton of Fun. And they ended up with the Ton of Fun ended up with a 90-pound tenor singer that became literally a giant in gospel music, as they all have. And then later on, I heard many promoters broadcasters, introducing them simply as the mighty Kingsmen. That's